If a miracle actually occurred, and we have sufficient evidence to show that the event itself occurred, then in principle there's no reason to think that a historian cannot verify that a miracle has occurred. So let's say, for example, a comet has been projected by astronomers to crash into the lunar surface on a specific day, and they've been tracking this comet for more than a decade. So on that day, all the planetariums and Hubble Space Telescope is zeroed in on the lunar surface, and they watch as the comet slams into the moon. And as the lunar dust settles, they see a message written on the moon's surface, and it's written in Hebrew and in Greek, and it says, "Jesus is Lord." Now, there's no way that we could deny that the event itself had occurred. However, an astronomer acting in the capacity as an astronomer would not have the tools to verify that God did it. So we would conclude that the event had occurred while leaving the cause of the event undetermined. Historians can do the same thing with miraculous events. If the evidence is sufficient to establish that the event itself likely occurred, the historian could conclude that the event had occurred, but just couldn't acknowledge that God was the source of the event. Another option would be to posit a theoretical entity for the miracle, such as God. Now, scientists do this all the time. Black holes, quarks, strings, and gluons are theoretical entities posited to explain observable phenomena. They've never seen a black hole, probably never will. However, these are theoretical entities that do explain very well these phenomena that we observe. In the same way, we can posit a theoretical entity for a miracle, God, as the explanation. Now, it is reasonable to ask the question, how do we distinguish a miracle from an anomaly? An anomaly being a natural event for which we have no known cause. I think the difference is, did the event occur in a context charged with religious significance? So let's say we have an atheist man who's 50 years old, he's married, and he was born blind. And one day he's having lunch with his wife, and he receives his eyesight for some unknown reason. The doctors don't know why he received it at that time, but now for the first time in his life he can see. I would not regard that as a miracle. But let's say that same blind man is having lunch with his wife one day, and a pastor comes up and rings the doorbell and says that he just had this strong impression, he believed from God that he's to come and pray for him that this man would receive his sight. And so they allow him, and the moment he prays for this man, he sees for the first time in his life. Now, in that case, I think we would be rational in concluding that a miracle has occurred. What's the difference between the two? The latter occurred in a context with religious significance.